Hello everybody, it's Aaron from GoGrava.com. I am on the Appalachian Trail with my family today, and it's amazing. So the Appalachian Trail is only about 30 minutes from my house. So we came in near Hamburg, Pennsylvania, took the entryway at Port Clinton where the train station is, the old historical train station, and from there went south. So we climbed up 300 feet maybe, and we're just going 2.5 miles in and then 2.5 miles back. Quite a rocky area up here. This is my first time on the Appalachian Trail. Always wanted to hike it and to do it, but instead we decided to make a day of it and just take the kids out. So let's talk about the Appalachian Trail. So the Appalachian Trail is roughly 2,200 miles of trail from down in Georgia heading north to Maine. So somewhere north of Atlanta, can't remember the name of it, Mount something is the start of the Appalachian Trail, and it goes all the way up to Maine, 2,200 miles. A lot of people just take some time and they hike the entirety of the trail. Normally that would take anywhere from 5 to 7 months is what I read to hike the entire thing. The fastest the Appalachian Trail has ever been done is somewhere around 44 days or 45 days. Somebody ran the whole thing, which is just unbelievable to run that sort of distance. But that would be a hell of an adventure. Just even taking a day to go hiking in the Appalachian Trail is great. And so bringing my kids out here, you know, to me is important. It's important to get my kids outside. My kids are 10, 11, and 13. And when you have kids, and all you parents know, like some of them may be excited about going for a hike. Some of them are, one of them is indifferent, and one of them just doesn't want to do it. And, you know, by the end or halfway through, the one that doesn't want to do it is out front, and the one that was excited is getting tired. But for me, getting my kids outside and pushing their boundaries a bit with hikes is important. Because believe it or not, your kids at that age, 10, 11, 12, 13, into their teens, they're going to be a hell of a lot more resilient physically than you give them credit for. If I went, let's say, hiking on this trail, and let's say we did it for 3 weeks, my kids would smoke me. They would smoke me because they're young. They got young bodies that can repair quickly, and they would just be destroying me. Now, I don't tell them that. I don't say that to them. You know, they think their dad's tough guy or whatever, but don't ever be afraid to take your kids out. You know, you got to build some resiliency with these kids. You know, I see people, you know, at, say, Disney World with their kids, and I see parents pushing a 7 or 8-year-old around in a stroller while they're on their iPad. It just doesn't make any sense. Your kids need to, you know, you got to build that resiliency because, you know, in this world that we live in, if you don't push your limits when they're younger, the world out there is going to eat them up. That's my opinion. The world's a difficult place, and it can be very difficult at times. So the more you can kind of push your kids' boundaries a bit and their experiences a bit, I feel it just makes it gives them a bit more, how you say it, tools in their toolbox to deal with things when things get hot, when things get tough. Because anybody that's really pushed their limits understands that, I mean, really pushed your limits, that when you feel like quitting, you still probably can go 50% longer, actually. And when you start pushing boundaries, you know, it really starts showing you how strong you actually are and can be. But yeah, we've seen quite a few hikers on the Appalachian Trail. Very friendly, said hello, you know, no sketchiness going on there. The people outdoors and hiking are very, very friendly people. And the other thing I'm doing, besides getting my kids out of the house and pushing them a bit, building up that toughness, that resiliency, is I'm testing our Grava Handlebar bag, which turns into like a, I don't even say fanny pack, but a little, it's got a belt on it, And it's a waterproof canvas pack. It's got that orange on it. And I'm telling you, I was very reluctant in the beginning with the belt. My team kept telling me, no, they love it, they love it, they love it. So I'm on my final test, taking it hiking 5 miles, and I absolutely love this thing. I didn't think the belt was gonna work, but it absolutely works. I mean, I just put it, I can put my water in here. I put my stacks in here. It's a rollover top bag. The belt tucks on the inside with the Velcro. And we also provide these hooks so you can put a shoulder strap if you want to. And it's got an interior pocket. Let's see if I can show that as I'm walking. Hopefully the camera isn't too shaky. But we got an interior pocket, and I just got my water bottle in there. And man, I can fit a lot of stuff in here too, and it just sits really on the small part of my back really easily. And I'm really impressed with our design. So I'm gonna make just maybe 2 changes to it, and then we're gonna produce it in Colombia, and we're gonna sell it on the store. I need to get a box stitch on one of these contact points to make the stitching a bit stronger. And then I'm gonna thicken the straps for the handlebars just a little bit more, because they need to be a little bit stiffer so they can hold up in like a gravel or rough terrain and not loosen up. So I am excited about this bag. The other thing I will say is, for all those hunters in the hunting season, or if you're on the Appalachian Trail, it's got orange on it. So we got some orange highlights, which is good for visibility during hunting season. So if you're a hunter and you got to keep your shoulders free for your rifle, having this hip bag or this back fanny pack or whatever, I don't even know what we're going to call it yet. I guess we got to give it a name besides handlebar pack. You can take this with you hunting and it's not going to get in the way at all. You can put your extra rounds, your water, your snacks, anything in there. I can fit an actual DJI drone full bag kit, which is actually pretty big, into this bag, no problem. So it's got a lot of storage in it, and it works really, really well. So I think it's going to be a huge seller in our store, and when people see it and start using it, I think we're going to sell a lot of them. And that's the other thing about the Appalachian Trail. Depending on the time of year you're out here, you are required, depending on the state you're in, to wear a certain amount of orange. So the orange, for those of you who don't hunt or been hunting, I grew up hunting. I don't really do it anymore, but orange is a color, it's a safety color in the forest because it stands out and you can see it, and it keeps us a bit safe, so we're not shooting each other. You know, when you see an object, you can see that orange. And then the deer or whatever you're hunting, they can't see the color orange. It's just a gray color to them. So our pack has a bit of that orange on it, and it'll fit really well with your hunting kit. It's got the gray and some orange highlights to it, and so it'll work really well. So I'm going to kind of position this a bit towards the hunters too, in the fall and towards the winter time. So yeah, that's the Appalachian Trail. I'm on it. The kids and the wife are up ahead, building some resiliency, getting outside. You know, we got a little bit of bugginess out here, but man, it's really good to get out, breathe in that fresh air, de-stress from the week, and get some family bonding time going instead of just sitting in the house while the kids are on their iPads all the time. And this doesn't really cost us anything. You know, you bring a backpack and a couple of water bottles, and you got 3 hours of activity. And then maybe we'll go out and grab a bite to eat and tell stories about what we saw on the hike. And it's just a really good team building, overall family team building event. And it's a chance for you to mentor your kids, to teach them about resiliency, about mental toughness, and pushing their boundaries a bit. So don't ever be afraid if your kid's like, oh, I'm tired. I can't do it, Dad. Oh, my feet hurt. You got to push them a bit. Tell them to toughen up, push them a bit, and teach them about being resilient, because they're going to need those skills You know, maybe not hiking skills, but they're going to need that mental resiliency when they leave your house and get out into the world, because we know how tough the world can be. And if you don't help these kids toughen up, if they just stay in the house on these iPads all the time or on their computers, they're going to get chewed up and spit out. And you're going to have to deal with that as a parent when you're older and you want to be doing other things with your life. You're going to be dealing with a kid that's been destroyed by the world. So you have to do something about it. So get outside, enjoy your time with your family or by yourself or whatever you want to do. And tell me your stories. Has anybody been on the Appalachian Trail? Does anybody have any stories for me? Any great stories on the Appalachian Trail? That'd be great. Anybody have experience like on the south part, the north part? The part I'm on is pretty rocky, so we got a lot of rocks here in the Hamburg region between Harrisburg and Hamburg. A lot of rock fields that we got to climb over. Love to hear about other people's stories hiking the Appalachian Trail, so leave it in the comments. Share it with everybody. I would love to comment back or hear some stories and things like that. So that's all I have, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and until I see you again on YouTube or wherever we meet, have a great day.